It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Although not so much streaming. Definitely in theaters and classic films as well.
We definitely did some streaming, but not for this podcast.
Streaming sucks.
Oh yeah, we did.
Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hello!
Yes. And also we have the Murman, who's keeping it real at the Calgary International Film Festival this week. And he also found some time to watch some new releases. How do you do all this? How many balls do you have in the air right now, literally? Is there like 40?
Yeah, something like that.
40 balls in the air.
I just don't sleep.
And 2 huge balls.
Murray loves balls. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our dependent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by buying us some balls and joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film, and we will watch it if it played anywhere in the world, even at a film festival. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Something's bubbling.
Yes.
Got some special effects happening today.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, listen. Here it comes. This is the effervescence of our merman seeping into your pores.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, Mur. We had got to see 3 movies in cinemas.
You got to see.
And the Amazing Murman is going to predict what Bryce and I think is going to rate these things. So, Dumb Money.
Well,
What do you think?
Dumb Money was like the first film actually at the festival this year, which was sold out. I didn't get to see, but luckily it came out 2 days later.
Yes.
Based on the trailer and what I've seen of it, I figured you may have given it a mondo.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Bryce may have given it a meh,
Okie dokie.
if not a rage.
All right. Well, if not a rage, he's going.
Wow.
He's half and down. So he gets half points if he gets either of those right.
No, you give it a meh.
All right.
He probably laughed at some parts.
All right.
did laugh.
Now it lives inside potentially your bunghole.
Yeah, these two are pretty easy. I'm pretty sure you both raged on it.
On It Lives Inside.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Expendables, I would be shocked if you two gave it anything other than a rage.
This was a pretty predictable week, by the way.
It was pretty predictable,
Yeah,
but I don't know if he got them all right. We're gonna have to find out.
Yeah,
He didn't get them all right.
I didn't.
Oh, because we
But
gave
I'm pretty
Expendables
sure
4 a Mondo.
That's
Yeah,
right.
and we both went in Mondo on.
Expendables 4.
No, we didn't.
Spend forbles.
That's right. Forbles?
Forbles.
All right.
Expend
forbles.
Expend
Expend 4 bulls.
There's a 4 instead of an A.
Expendables. Special bush. All right, so we saw Dumb Money, which also played at the Calgary International Film Festival, which we're going to be talking about again this week. But today we're not talking about it, other than talking that it's on right now. So
It's playing everywhere.
yeah, so if you're listening to this, get your tickets. And also they have their shorts packages will be available online. We're going to mention this again in probably another 5 minutes. But Bryce, tell us about Dumb Money.
It's a movie about family.
It's all about the family.
Yeah. That's all I
So
got.
it's like Fast and Furious franchise,
It's exactly like the Fast and the Furious.
except it's a biopic.
Except it's a biopic. Isn't Fast and the Furious a biopic?
No, Fast and Furious is not a biopic. It feels like a biopic.
I thought all that stuff actually happened.
Oh, the science
Based
in
on
it
a
is-
true story.
It's based on a true science fact.
Maybe it's just inspired by a true story.
Oh, okay.
This one's pretty much based on a true story, though.
Okay,
It's not
yeah.
really inspired. They're
Yeah.
actually telling the story.
Yeah, they're telling it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the that schmo that was buying all the GameStop stock and convincing a bunch of other schmoes to do the same, trying to take down the
Because
take
GameStop
down
is
Wall Street,
trying to stick it to the man.
sticking it to the man. It stars Paul Dano, and he is, as per usual, very, very good.
He plays Keith Gill.
He does play Keith Gill, who was the dude. Not the dude from The Big Lebowski. That's a different dude.
He is the kitty.
Yeah. And it was a movie, and I watched it.
And
And it also had Pete Davidson in it as his brother.
Yep.
They were very good as brothers.
Yep.
I like the dynamic between
They almost
the two.
felt like brothers, didn't they?
They did, which is weird because they look nothing alike. But I was buying in that these two are related.
I don't know. I didn't look anything like my brother, but I think my brother was actually the mailman's brother. No, the milkman. The mailman.
I had a brother like that. We had three brothers that kind of looked the same, and then one with flaming red hair.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about the
We're
brothers.
talking about Dumb Money.
The Dumb Money.
No, you're not. You're talking about your family now.
No, because Dumb Money was about family.
It's all about the family, Murray. Murray's an only child, so he can't relate.
That's right.
Oh,
All right. So, did you think anything else about Dumb Money? Is that all you want to say about Dumb Money?
Who was in?
Dummy.
just who was in it and that they did a good job.
All right. So, what would you rate
It
it?
was meh.
Okay. So it was.
I
meh.
liked it.
All right. Well, let me tell you what I thought about Dumb Money. You kind of already said this a little bit, although I don't have a fucking clue what you said. But the cast in this was extremely awesome, inclusive of, but not limited to,
Nick Offerman.
Paul Dano, Pete Davidson, America Ferrara, Nick Offerman. Thank you. Oh yeah, and Seth Rogen was okay.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah, he was fine. Actually,
is
for
in
Seth Rogen,
Like
that's
he is in everything.
That's saying,
No,
Really? Sometimes he's terrible
Sometimes
in
he's
some
terrible.
yeah. So this is one of those biopics that has people watch it just to say, "Fuck you, the man," and say things like, "Where my pussy at?" And you can say that nonstop, as many times as you want, and kind of be. They use the retard word a lot. Because they kind of owned it somehow. I don't know. I didn't think that was a thing, but I guess in social media world, if you call yourself a retard, then you can own that word.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I guess maybe that's what happened. So the sensation that is the market, plus a TikTok world during COVID, allowed the world to do to Wall Street what Bitcoin tried to do and failed miserably. This has some great humor. An unsung hero to root for in Paul Dano. It's fun. It's really fun. This movie is fun because you got to scream at the screen, "Where's my pussy at?" as many times as you wanted.
I didn't scream that once.
I was screaming it all the time. That's literally all I could think about. "Where my pussy at?"
You might have been thinking it. I was sitting beside you. You never.
I was
screamed
saying it out loud. You fell asleep a few times.
I didn't. Well, I might have.
Yeah, I like this a lot, especially the cast. But
now sleeping through movies.
yeah, he's sleeping through a lot of
That
movies.
was my thing.
But it's now Bryce is taking on the baton.
I
there.
didn't sleep through this.
Are you sure? You look pretty glossy-eyed.
I've been glossy-eyed for a week
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of this Calgary International Film Festival. I've watched 40 movies in like 5 days.
Murray, he doesn't have the stamina he used to have.
Apparently, he's getting old.
Exactly. So, but this is a biopic. And I'm not convinced after watching this that we got the full story. We got the filtered and completely biased story that Hollywood wanted us to see. I'll run naked with my dick out into lightning for the doc about this. But until then, it's pretty good. It's a meh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Mur's batting 500.
yes.
Still pretty good odds, Mur.
I thought You might love it.
Yeah.
How funny it was.
You know what? I like Paul Dano. He was great. Every single actor in this was at the top of their game,
It was very
except
well
Seth
acted.
Rogen.
Yeah.
Pete Davidson was the most Pete Davidson you could get.
Pete Davidson, every time he's in something, he's
It's just like, why is he not in every movie?
Sometimes I feel like he's not even following the script, and
I think they just let him
I
be
think
himself.
they just let him ramble sometimes, and it's like, all right.
I have yet to see. You know what? If Murray didn't hate Pete Davidson so much, I would say he's mesmerizing.
I don't hate him.
But he's never 5 minutes in
I
a
just don't
movie,
find
so.
him yeah, that's true.
So
maybe that's
except for
why
the
he's
one.
so good.
Yeah,
For
maybe.
the 5
Maybe
minute.
too much Pete Davidson might not.
No,
be a
because that
good-
movie he did about the King of Kensington or whatever it was called, I forget.
The King of Staten Island.
Yeah, he was pretty good in that. He lasted the whole movie,
Yes.
and he was awesome.
There you go.
Yeah. So, Murray, did you actually get to eventually see this? All right. Well, what do you think you would have given it? Just, eyeballing
I don't
it.
know. Based on the cast, probably.
What do you think you would have given it? What's
I don't know. I'm just curious what he thinks he might have liked about it.
I don't think I would have loved it. I think it would have been okay.
So, who in the cast would you say is one of your favorites? Do you like any? Love
You
any
love
of the cast?
Shailene Woodley or whatever.
Yeah,
her
you
name
like
is.
I like
Shailene
Nick
Woodley.
Offerman. He's all right.
Yeah, Nick Offerman is like.
I never
I think
watched.
brilliant.
I never liked his show, but I think he's funny outside of that.
I think Nick Offerman is kind of an underrated actor.
I think so
I think he
too,
is,
because he
too.
has a lot of range.
And he's a solid character actor. And that,
Yep.
what was that? Play Out Loud, Live Out Loud.
Yeah, that.
Something Out Loud, where it's him and his daughter, and they're making a song,
I
and
don't know.
he carries that film, and he is pretty amazing.
Yeah, you know what? He's solid. He's absolutely solid.
Live Out Loud, I think it's called.
Yeah, it's probably that. Nick Offerman, we like you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're almost mesmerizing.
All right.
If you were in a movie for 5 minutes.
So what are we doing next? A Haunting in Venice?
It lives inside. So,
What?
yeah, it lives inside.
When are we gonna do the Kenneth Branagh movie?
We did that last week.
What?
Yeah, we did.
All right.
Must
See what
be
you see
so
what we
good.
do you
he
see
wants
what
to
we
talk
do you
about it
see
again.
do you see what we have to deal with people with him? He's like he's even on holidays and he's still
Anyways,
mentally deranged.
just let me know when
I
we're.
kind of want to own the
Let me
word.
know when we're doing.
I kind of want to own the R word. So
Let me know when we're doing the new Nick Cage movie, The
All right.
Retirement Plan.
Okay, that was last week too. All right, it lives inside. I'm going to tell you what the Hindus have known for years. The message of this film is just like demons, as with people, do not let them eat meat. If you keep it vegan, the world is going to be a much better place. Isn't that right, Bryce?
I would agree with that.
All right. So the Hindus have known this. They don't want to eat meat because the meat could be with their long lost grandmother or grandfather. So good on you, Hindus. Demon Indian American films are not ones that we have seen very often in the past, but what I can tell you is that like all other demon films, they sure love their crackling. And maybe also, like most demon movies, there is a lot of force-like demon powers that come and go and never the same each time they are there. Sometimes the demon is super powerful and crack necks like toothpicks, and apparently sometimes it's beaten up by a 16-year-old girl who doesn't have a fucking clue what she's doing. This had so much opportunity to make this original and creative a film by using a demon we don't know anything about from another culture, brings so much awesome to the demon world to our North American senses, but it falls into the regular demon traps that has teenagers that find demons do demon things, apparently in every culture. But what this does is this movie centers around a time of year that apparently the entire community is praying in thanks of defeating the very same demon that the teenagers have to take on. So that was kind of a spin on demons. And then instead of taking the problem to their parents, who apparently know what they are doing, like the whole pray thing, she tries to solve the problem by herself. Wait a minute. That kind of sounds like it would happen in a non-Indian demon film.
I watched this movie and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So I understand if she didn't do that, if she would have just taken it to her parents, we might not have had a whole movie here because the parents would have helped her solve it right from the very beginning.
Take the demon to her parents?
Well, if she would have said, like, hey, by the way, I'm fighting this demon, and Tamara was, kidnapped by the demon, but instead of her trying to solve the mystery by herself, trying to Kenneth Branagh her way out of it, it would have only been a 20-minute movie.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah. But, so because of that, I'm kind of debating whether or not that would have been the right choice and that it was only a 20-minute movie. But all in all, it's a demon movie. So barring anything truly awful, it's at least watchable. Indian demon, get rid of the Force-like powers, clean up the writing and nonsense, and maybe I'd be a little bit happier to see part 2, which I'm assuming has something to do with her having to poop because she has to eat a bunch of stuff because the demon's potentially inside her bowels.
Yeah.
And because based on the fact that the star of the show, who is Hindu and now has to eat meat, I'm assuming she's going to come back for this part 2. So because of that reason, that it's a little different spin on the demon culture, which I like, and it didn't have too much crackling, I'm going to give it a low man.
All right.
Because it's a demon movie.
Cool.
Now, Mur, did you see the demons?
You're being way too generous.
What? What are you talking about? It lives
Was there
inside.
demons? I don't know. He was invisible. I couldn't see anything. This was basically the Indian version of the boogeyman, which I've seen numerous times in other cultures. It's the same story. This is just the Indian version, which is fine. I just don't know anything about it. I personally think PG horror films should be outlawed. There was basically no blood or gore. Spoiler alert, nobody dies. You think they do, but apparently they don't.
Wait,
They barely get injured.
Didn't someone die?
No.
The guy who lit himself on fire, he died.
Well, that was different. He was a suicide. But he wasn't killed by the demon.
Didn't those 2 kids at the summer camp at the beginning die?
Yeah, I
Wasn't
think
that Friday the 13th?
Oh, that's the wrong movie.
We also watched that, too. It was a very long day. Wonder he's tired.
Mixing up Friday the 13th.
So, yeah. So, kids, we did a podcast. Then we saw Friday the 13th for future. Then we went to the movies. Then they went to the festival. So no wonder Bryce is tired all the time.
And he's mixing up every movie that he saw.
Exactly. Are we doing Haunting in Venice this week?
But, by the way, that in this demon movie, it wasn't the mother that did it.
No?
No, it was the demon.
She wasn't the bad guy?
All right, what else you got to say, Murr?
I don't know. It was too slow, and like Bryce, I had no idea what the hell's going on. There was no real payoff. It wasn't scary at all. Had a weak story, too many horror movie cliches. Yeah, it was a rage.
All right.
Wow.
I hated it.
Okay. Well, keep in mind that demon crackling is not one of Murray's favorite genres. Although, when we get to watch The Exorcist coming up in a couple weeks, it may change him.
There we go.
All right, Brycey Poo.
Yeah. So,
Now that you know that this isn't Friday the 13th, part
Right.
17.
So those 2 kids weren't at the beginning.
No.
They were, yeah. No, it lives inside. All I really remember is that there's definitely a demon in it. Sometimes he's invisible, but if he's in like the shadows, sometimes you can see him, which doesn't make sense because he's in the shadows.
You can see his eyes
You
sometimes.
see his eyes, but no, you actually saw him. Like, why did you see him sometimes and you didn't see him other
Because
times?
he's a demon. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Saw
But
it at the
anyways,
end.
the whole thing is he's like trapped in a jar, and then he's not trapped in a jar.
Because she dropped the jar.
Yeah, so now he's got a way out.
Yeah.
So at some point, and I don't want to have spoilers, but at some point, the demon gets eaten. Well, there's all sorts of ways to get out of the human body. There's orifices everywhere. So why?
Okay, but in The Exorcist, when Reagan was pooing, I mean, we saw her make pea soup. She was just eating some pea soup.
Yeah.
But in I want to say the start of demon movies, which is like for most people, The Exorcist.
Okay.
She was pooping probably all the time, and the demons didn't leave.
But why not? Why
Because
can't
the demons,
demon can't get
the demon's holding on to her organs. It's holding
what
on
I'm
to her
thinking
organs.
is that, in order to keep the demon at bay every time she poops, she's probably got to eat her own poop so that because the demon's probably in the poop,
Gonna
right?
release. Well, why does she poo into a jar too? You know, these are the things we don't know, but maybe they'll be answered in part 2. It'll be called.
On that
It
note,
lives inside.
have you
the
ever
poo.
Have you ever heard the song "Poop in a Jar"?
Yeah, I've also
by
seen
the Hill-
two
AC
girls, one
AC Dixie.
jar. Oh no, that's a cup.
That's AC Dixie.
Yeah,
Poop in a jar.
yeah. No,
Keeping your poop in a jar,
sounds like.
so I can remember what you are. Yeah.
Okay. No, but now that's the only song I want to listen to this afternoon. But
Oh, it's so good.
all right,
Poop
well,
in a jar.
So does that have anything to do with what's going to happen?
Actually, I think it's called keeping your poop.
Okay. It's funny how he can remember that, but he doesn't know what movies we watched.
Okay,
this
sorry.
week.
What were we talking
We were
about?
talking about whether or not you thought there was enough demon crackling in this movie to bring it to a meh, or was Murray correct that you gave it a rage?
Well, I didn't understand how the demon gets trapped inside a body, and when there's nothing but orifices to come out, there's like eyeballs and ear holes.
Even though
and
demons are in people all the time.
nostrils and yeah, so if they want to get out, why don't they just get out? But they can be trapped in a jar. It doesn't hold water,
There
so
you
that
go.
makes this a rage.
Okay, there you go. So Murray's still batting 500 here.
I think I'm having a really strong podcast.
Yeah, this is probably your best.
I think
actually.
I'm on my game today.
This is like, hello, you're fantastic.
Is this you and your game?
Yeah.
I'm on my game.
Should be very
All right. Well,
scared.
then let's just wait to see how game this gets. When the Mur talks about exportables.
Expendables 4, or if you're sexy, Expendables.
Expendables.
Which is
And
what the posters-
and FYI, you are sexy, my friend.
So the band is back together for a 4th time, sort of. Except this time they're working for some kind of government agency. Like they have bosses and high-tech equipment, and they go on assignments. And
Didn't
I'm
they do
like,
that before?
No, they were hitmen. They basically went and they did jobs for money. They had their own team. They didn't answer to anybody.
Oh,
This one, it was like they had bosses and stuff.
Well, everybody's got a boss.
Yeah. I actually
got a
liked
boss.
I actually liked the first 3.
What?
And
No,
I
you
love
didn't.
watching old people kick ass.
That you do.
Unfortunately for me, that genre has finally worn out.
What? Murray?
Keanu was in his 50s doing John Wick. Denzel was almost 70 doing Equalizer. The list goes on. This movie didn't even have that many old action stars in it. Stallone disappears right near the start. Dolph is probably the only old fart in this.
And they like to make fun of him all the way.
Make fun of
through
it. Yeah, the fact that he actually needs
Randy
needs
Couture's
glasses and
gotta
he's a
be in
sniper.
50 at least.
He's not as old as Dolph,
No, he's not as old.
but the
as
rest
Dolph,
of them
but he's
are
an
all
old man.
kids. They're not old people. They're not expendable. They're still youngins.
Megan Fox has got to be 40.
Yeah, but she's still hot, so it's different.
Actually, I have no idea. Maybe she's not that old.
The bad guy
Seems like
twist
it's been around
in
a
this
while.
was painfully obvious from the second he showed up. And I'm not talking about the Asian badass. They replaced Antonio Banderas
The Ocelot.
with a younger, less
what it's
charismatic version. There was no Wesley, no Terry Crews, just a bunch of talentless no-names. Yeah, except for that one guy who was helping Statham there. He was kind of funny, but yeah, much as I actually did enjoy the first 3 because I like seeing old action stars from the 80s still kicking ass and then making fun of it.
Oh, you're meaning Al Garcia.
No, Andy Garcia.
Oh, right. I mixed
Andy
those two.
Pacino. Andy
No, the guy who
Pacino.
was
Andy
the
Pacino.
guy who was helping Statham.
Yeah, Andy Pacino.
I remember Andy
No,
Pacino.
the guy who was in the Expendables before, but he retired. 'cause
Yeah,
he-
yeah, Andy
They didn't want to
Pacino.
let his beast out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Andy Pacino. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so what?
Yeah, no, this is a rage. I mean,
What? Murray?
Yeah. I like senseless action movies. This one was just stupid. Because sitting beside Jim, and I basically predicted every single thing that was going to happen for the whole 90 minutes.
Well, wait till you hear more about what I have to say about that in a
Why
minute. Well, wait, does that ruin it for you? Because you were... Wait, I want to have my say when I say mine. Bryce, what do you think about this?
Expendables 4.
Was also not Friday the 13th.
Yeah, no, I kind of vaguely remember this one.
This one too.
No, he did go to the bathroom
Went to the
twice.
bathroom 3 times.
He intentionally drank 4 liters. No, 4 times 1.5 liters. So
I drank a lot of liquid so
Six-
that I could
six
have
liters.
some bathroom breaks.
He drank 6 liters of
break up
pop.
to break up the monotony.
Just
And
so he could
at one point, I saw him curled up in 2 seats.
I was in the
fetal position.
I was in the fetal position because I just wanted it to stop.
So you can tell I might think he might not like it.
It's ridiculous. It's bad CGI, bad acting. Just ridiculous stuff going on, and nothing makes any sense. I mean, he's standing there on this giant. What was it? What kind of boat was it?
I don't know, carrier. Or
Some sort of carrier.
aircraft carrier.
The thing's like super noisy, ripping through the ocean. They're like 30 yards away, connected on this little boat, and he's screaming off the. Well, he's not even screaming. He's talking off the boat, and they're like hearing him. And I'm like, they can't hear you, dude. But then they talk. They're having a conversation from 30 yards apart with like nothing but noise going on.
Yeah, it's a lot
It's
more than
stupid.
30.
Maybe
It's a
they
lot
can-
more than 30.
And if you look carefully, they're on this boat and nobody's hair is moving. There's wind whipping around. Why is
They're
no
going
one's
100
hair
miles an
moving?
hour on the boat.
What is going on? They're like in a vacuum. I don't understand.
This makes complete sense. I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, the ridiculousness doesn't stop there. Plus, apparently it's funny to just like murder people for no reason. Like, they're laughing at the most unbelievable, awful things that in some circumstances, I guess, could be funny if it was written properly, but it's just awful. Everything was awful. They're bullies. I don't like them.
So not only do you not... Wait, did you like the movie?
No, the movie was a rage.
Okay, so that we got that out of the way. But so on top of that, the people that are in the movie, not necessarily the actors, but the people portrayed in the movie are also terrible, awful people. So you're saying that they're kind of expendable.
I would
They are
say that.
expendable.
Well, the weird thing is there's no one to root for in this because everybody's awful.
It's kind of like you want everybody to die.
You gotta root for
Actually, there is
Statham.
one
I don't have
person.
to- He's
There
a
is-
terrible person.
There's one
he's
person
not.
worth rooting for.
He laughed at some poor guy that got murdered because Stallone lost a ring in a fair bet to him. He got murdered because he beat him in a thumb wrestling
He
contest.
should have gave back the ring.
Why?
Why would he?
Why would he? He won
He
it.
won it.
He
And
asked
that's funny.
He asked
ha
nice-
ha
he asked
ha.
nicely.
We murdered a guy because he beat us in a contest. Ugh. This is like what? Who's writing this?
This is like Bad Boys 2 level bad.
It's like I don't get it.
Do you remember Bad Boys 2 when they took their cars
when
and
they
ran
took
through
their
a
car
village?
and went through this whole village,
Murdering
and murdered
everybody.
like so many innocent people and laughing and oh yeah, this is hilarious. You just absolutely murdered a bunch of
Innocent
kids
people.
and mothers and yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like I've gone off the edge.
That was a little good. You know what? That was, we're not called Film Love. I just got to keep saying that. So here's what I thought about Expendables 4. Expendables 4 has 4 times worse of a story, has 4 times worse dialogue, has 4 times as bad of acting, non-existent plot situations where the good guys hit every shot and the bad guys never get hit. Oh, wait a minute. The bad guys couldn't hit anything, but wait, they were all bad guys.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So we get that clear. The terrible CGI backdrops, the terrible CGI blood, science probability, ridiculousness of every single scene, from the opening scene and the way this film even starts, where Jason Statham is tricked by Stallone into starting a bar fight because he lost a bet, proving that they are both motherfucking assholes. But then, because he lost the bet, as Bryce has already alluded to, he decides he's going to kill this guy for no reason in the movie, except this guy beat him in a bet.
That's so
This
funny.
is the important part in the story. They brought the movie in by them starting a bar fight because Stallone lost a bet.
Mm-hmm.
For a ring.
Yes. That's the genesis.
And then he dies. Sorry, he gets murdered for that later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus the characterization of women as emotional wrecks and that men are men and that alcoholism is good for you and makes you a better sniper, followed by more and more obviously deplorable scene after deplorable scene. Oh, wait. I think I lost my focus a little bit. So all of this was 4 times worse than 3, which was 4 times worse than 2, which was 4 times worse than the original, which was already unwatchable and terrible. So doing the math quickly, 4 times 4 times 4 times unwatchable makes this the worst movie of this year, where even Megan Fox and her adequate acting,
It's 256 times
the
worse.
Raids, Iko Uwas, and Ong Bak's Tony Jaa could not save their talented careers by being in this and are forever going to be tarnished in my mind. And I fucking love Ong Bak and I love The Raid. The fact that they put them in this movie to destroy my love of them, it's like I have no more hope for Asian cinema anymore because they've totally destroyed every single great. Yeah, this was so bad. On top of all that, did I not understand one thing that Stallone said through the entire movie? Like not one thing. There wasn't even one thing that he said that I wished I didn't have subtitles for. And the film was so terribly predictable, even Murray. And he's trying to say it was me, but even Murray was spouting out what was going to happen next.
No, I told you. I was predicting it as stuff was happening the whole movie.
It was just...
I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew the twist as soon as the guy showed up on the screen. I'm like, yeah, he's the real bad guy.
So for everyone's knowledge, the plot is the Raid dude steals nuke stuff. They find him while he's actually doing the act, which they portray with knowledge that you interpret as having already happened. Like they go, oh, this guy stole these nukes. And then all of a sudden they go to him and he's there stealing the nukes. And you're like, what? He's just reporting that this guy stole the nukes. But then they get there and he's still stealing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that. But then they magically show up to stop him in the act. Bad guys kill a major character. Statham gets fired. Then Megan Fox, who didn't go on the adventure in the first place, is now the most qualified to lead this team.
The whole team.
And the rest of the movie is copying what happened from what Murray says in number 3.
Number 3.
So I'm like, did they even write that? Like, is this just 3? I forgot 3 because it was so awful.
I don't know.
Was this like 3? It was exactly
no, well,
the same.
in 3,
apparently they weren't working for a government organization.
In 3, Stallone fired all the old guys.
Okay, yeah.
Got a bunch of young hotshots, including a bunch of MMA fighters, Ronda Rousey and a few others, Antonio Banderas. And what happens?
Antonio Banderas is an MMA fighter?
No, he's one of the old folks.
He's fired?
Oh.
But he was one of the, they had Kelsey Grammer too, but he wasn't on the team.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer fought in the MMA?
Sure. Go back to sleep. The point is, all these young hotshots got kidnapped and was up to Stallone and the old farts to rescue them, just like this one.
Oh, right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So it's basically the third one, only 4 times worse.
And no Terry Crews.
Yeah. And no Terry Crew, which, is the only thing worth watching in any movie. This film was terrible. Please stop making these movies before they destroy cinema and every single great Asian actor that's ever been in a action film. Just please stop doing it and stop inviting them to come on your terrible films.
Yes.
This movie is probably for sure going to make my worst movie of this year by far.
This movie made the Poop Monster movie look good.
Yeah.
If I would have seen the Poop Monster movie after this, it might have been a meh. But I saw the Poop Monster movie first. Because
it's not a monster; it's a demon.
right,
Get it right.
Whatever.
It's a poop demon.
Poop demon movie.
That's right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Demons are monsters.
You know what that means, Mur?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right, I guess.
Oh, you guess.
Rage.
All right, Expendables, Expendables.
Expend
Never agree
fordables.
anymore.
Nice.
Expend four bowls.
All right, make this quick.
Make it quick. I'm watching Switchback.
There you go. I'd like to switch back.
I know. That's what you had to answer Sunday morning. If the phone rang Sunday morning during Switchback, you'd answer it. Make it quick. I'm watching Switchback, and you win a prize.
I thought you meant the movie.
I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
The show on
This is a
Sunday
movie?
mornings on
This is a movie?
CBC in
That
Calgary.
sounds like a TV show.
Yeah,
Make it quick. I'm watching Switchback. It was
He doesn't-
live,
he
and they
doesn't watch
call
TV.
you. And if
Apparently-
you said make it quick, I'm watching Switchback. Make it quick, I'm
Apparently-
watching Switchback. You would get a prize.
apparently when Bryce has lost his mind, he talks about
It
things
had
that aren't
Humble-
movies.
It had Humble Howard in it.
All right. You know what? We're
He
gonna
was a beloved radio host on XL Radio for years.
just so you know, we're gonna bring this up every time Murray refers to somebody in a TV show. We're gonna bring this point up with you going forward. Just
Nah,
FYI.
I was a kid.
Taking up all my time for my minute.
I'm literally
Murray,
gonna say
Hey Murray, make it quick. I'm watching Switchback.
that's exactly what I'm gonna say when Bryce interrupts Murray the next time he's
Thank
talking
you.
about a TV actor.
Thank you. Y'all know how much I love horror movies. Oh wait, I don't.
That's right, he doesn't.
Well, here's something for you to chew on.
What?
Article I saw.
Nice.
These are upcoming horror films for the next year and a
What?
half, which
All
I'm sure
right.
you guys will love.
Well,
bring
we
it
may
on.
like.
We got
I might love.
Constantine 2,
Oh.
I
God,
am going
no.
to love.
No.
Conjuring, Last
No.
Rites,
Stop.
It's gonna be a man. The Conjuring universe.
Final Destination
What?
6,
Bryce will love that.
Yes.
He loves Final Destination
Bring it
movies.
on.
The Crow,
What?
What?
another one.
The what?
No.
What?
See if this
Stop.
one. See if this guy dies.
Wait, was that a horror movie? I
who's-
think that's more of an action story.
Anyway, it's like the third version of it.
Unless it's starring Ben Affleck, I don't want anything to do with it.
I Am
Or
Legend,
Brandon Lee.
Chapter 2. Yes,
What is?
I Am Legend, Chapter 2. Yes,
What?
Will Smith
Oh,
is still
how
out.
did he die in the first one?
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh, there's a couple of
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And a new Arachnophobia.
Oh, yes.
What?
Murray, you just bring the joy every time.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will enjoy this.
You can never get
Some of 'em.
arachnophobia.
I will not.
You know what would have been good is the arachnophobia versus anaconda because they both start with A. It's like AVA.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah. That would have been fantastic.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Okay, my rage is going to be super simple. Bryce, what's the math? 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 again?
256.
256
See, I can do math
times of
even in my
awful.
state.
Yeah.
I'm
250
not sitting here with a
times.
calculator or anything.
I don't even know what the math of 256 times unwatchable is, but it's a level of rage that could not be measured. And that is exportables. That's my rage. And I think there's because we all hated it. Because we all hated it. I'm sure you all agree with me.
Yes.
That's it. It's nothing to talk about.
Let's
Nothing to
give
see
them
here.
something
Hurry
to
up and
talk
call and
about.
switch back.
All right. So this week I've been going to the Calgary International Film Festival every day, which has been fantastic, by the way. What has not been fantastic is my trip in on a few occasions because I've been riding my bike into work.
What?
I call it work.
It's now work for
It's
you.
become work. Sorry, into the festival. So I get on my bike and I get on the path that's for
Bikes.
cycling.
Yes.
Bikes only.
Yes.
And I've got people pushing their carriages with their babies, and I got people jogging on it, and I got people just walking with their 90-year-old grandmothers. People, not 15 yards away is the pedestrian path. Get on the pedestrian path. If you're not on something that has wheels, get off the path.
Babies and strollers have wheels.
Yeah, the stroller. Okay, so if you want to push the stroller and then get the hell off because you're walking, then go ahead. Just
What if you're
leave
walking
it.
your bike? Can you be on the bike trail?
No, You can't. You're
Why?
now a pedestrian. You get off the bike.
But you have 2 wheels.
Yeah, you're not on the bike.
Sounds like you could.
And you could get on the bike, and then you are no longer a pedestrian. But
So-
as long as your feet are on the ground, you're a pedestrian.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Head, foot. That's what it means.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
So if there's a bike path
Yeah.
and a walking path
Yes.
and a road
Yes.
and you're a bike, you
Yeah,
can be on
You can be
all
on
of
the,
those?
You can be on the no. You can't be on the walking path. You
If
can
you're
be on the
walking your
road.
bike, you can.
If you're walking your bike, you can be on the walking
Right,
path.
okay.
Yes.
So what I'm hearing you say, just so we're all clear here,
Yes.
us in this room and all our
Anyways, I
7
just don't want
listeners
to.
for
I
this
just don't want to
week.
run over some person's 90-year-old grandmother because they're being stupid.
Now you know how cars feel when you're riding your bike going 40 kilometers an hour and there's a perfectly good bike path right beside you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now
what
you
you're
know
talking
exactly how a car feels that drives.
Oh, stop it! I usually when I'm on that road, it's because there's at least 2 lanes. Get in the other lane. It's fine.
Are you one of these guys who rides in the middle of the lane?
I will ride. No, I don't ride in
he
the middle
rides
of the
in
lane.
both lanes.
But
right?
here's the
Some of
thing,
them ride in
Mur.
the middle of the lane doing 30 kilometers an hour in a 60 kilometer an hour zone.
Here's the thing, Mur. I absolutely don't, but I also do take it further. If I'm on the right hand side and you go whizzing by me, that's cool. I got no problem with that. But you better not have a problem when I go whizzing by you again. All right? Because it goes both ways. So I could sit there and I could fall and I could be there in traffic and I could be 7th in line, no problem. But you know what? If those 7 cars that just came to the stoplight went and whizzed by me 2 blocks ago, I'm going to go right up to the stoplight again.
Nice.
Because you went by me, it's my lane,
There you
I'm
go.
going right by you again.
This is the insight that you get into Bryce's mind right now.
I also
Pedestrians have no rights.
I also have
Bicyclists
yes,
do.
I have a counterpoint.
Fuck you, cars. That's the rage. Is that right?
Counterpoint I have
Yeah.
is bicyclists.
Are the best.
No,
And we should all be on bikes. We
because
should stop driving and
they-
stop killing
And
our
walking.
planet.
Particularly on 5th.
No,
which
walk
is-
where you're supposed to walk.
Yeah, well, ride where you're supposed to ride. That's my counterpoint.
This is the
I
best.
do.
This is the best
damn
rage
bicyclists
ever.
My
ride
bike
on
is a
the-
vehicle.
They ride on the frickin' sidewalk
Okay, that they should not do. I'm 100%.
where the pedestrians are.
Absolutely.
And there's a bike lane right there.
Yeah, you don't ride on the sidewalk.
You know
But they
what?
ride on the sidewalk, and they took away parking downtown for the goddamn bike lanes. But they still ride on the sidewalk. That's my point.
This is the best rage
So it
we've
works
had.
both ways, Bryce.
Well, no,
It's-
I'd never ride on the sidewalk.
This is every
I'm a
ways. It's-
vehicle.
it's-
Yeah,
Why would
but
I be
you're
on
like
the sidewalk?
one of the 99, 1% of 99 the
That's true.
99% do.
You are an anomaly, Bryce.
Yes, because I've seen them, and they also don't stop for the lights either.
That's me.
I've
do
seen
all
them
those
barrel
things.
through red lights while everybody else is waiting for
Yeah,
the light to
I don't
change.
do
When
that
I'm
either.
riding my bike, I break
So,
every
yeah.
rule.
I'm more likely to do that in my car because I
Forgive
don't pay
me
attention
for not
when I'm
liking
driving.
people on bikes
Yeah, I
who
also
are
want to.
mowing me down on the sidewalk.
You know what you need to do is get a bike.
No.
Yeah, that's what
I
you
have
should
a
do.
bike.
But you know what's more important? He won't break a rule that I asked him to do. But then on our way to the cinemas last night, he broke
Yeah.
3 and goes, "Oh, did I even know that was a rule?"
No, it
So,
wasn't that I didn't know it was
apparently-
a rule. It's
Please elaborate.
I had no idea what I was doing because I'm driving. I don't know. I should never be allowed to drive.
Did he roll through stop signs?
No,
or
I
something?
wanted him to
know.
do a U-turn in a place that you're not supposed to do a U-turn.
Right.
Yeah.
But then he
Get on a double line. I'm not going to cross a double
He-
line to do a
he
U-turn.
ran a red light. It was actually perfectly red, and he's like, "I'm just turning here."
I did not.
You did so.
I didn't notice that was a red light
There was like
'cause
3
I was
different.
driving.
But you know what? The point we're trying to make people
What is the point?
Is just
stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Exactly.
That's it.
That's a good rage.
And I swear, if I see somebody on a bike on the sidewalk again, I'm gonna freaking push them over.
There you go.
That's fine. I'm all for that, man.
Yes.
Do it.
Jerks.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right. Well, our last little bit here is just to remind everybody that we want you to go to Calgary International Film Festival and start checking things out. Now, I'm going to tell you the rest of Film Rage's schedule here quickly so that you will know exactly where we will be for this particular festival. Okay? So, today we will be seeing Immediate Family at 5 o'clock, Unsinkable and then the Royal Hotel. Thursday, we'll be watching Werner Herzog, Radical Dreamer. Friday, The Stones and Brian Jones, which is a great name for a doc, by the way. Seven Veils, When Evil Lurks. Saturday, we'll be at Blaga's Lessons, Inside the Yellow Cocoon Shell, La Chimera, or La Chimera, and Mayhem. And then on Sunday, we're at Anatomy of a Fall. And then we have 20 more things we got to do. So, what I'm suggesting to you is you go to CIFF Calgary dot what?
Com. CA.
.ca. There you go. Because it's Canada. Remember, we had that conversation.
.ca.
And effective tomorrow.
CIFF Calgary.
Yes. And effective tomorrow, their online portion of the festival opens up. So you can see shorts packages. And I believe that it's not geo-blocked for a few provinces around Alberta. So check it out. Go to CIFFcalgary.ca and check it out. That's what I have to say.
Cool.
Now, guess what we got to do? Go back to watching more movies. There we go.
That's the only person who's tired.
That's right. We're all tired. Thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to Extended Film Rage family, who you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, and God of Rage for the voice of Rager Darren. Casey will be back next week at our regular podcast. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, share, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, please, please. That's it until Sunday, where we'll have our CIFF wrap-up and go over our favorites for the second half of the festival. Now, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us rage. That's it for this episode. Rage on.
Rage on.